Okay, everybody. This is somewhat of an impromptu stream. This is very much a case of I'm playing Space Engineers anyway, let's just throw the stream up for an hour or two. That is more or less the extent of this plan. So I am just doing all of the go live notification-y stuff, and we'll be getting started properly. I hope we all had a fantastic Christmas out there. All sorts of goodies and had some fun. Oh, it's nearly through all of the announcements. So how are we all doing anyway? Right, I think that's everywhere. Close enough. I think the only one I haven't bothered with is Twitch. Well, not Twitch, Twitter. And yeah, it's Twitter. Right. So yeah, this is super chilled out. It's Boxing Day. I'm recovering from the food coma. I'm just throwing blocks down and building stuff. That is the extent of the planning for this. That is it. Yeah, just building out this monstrosity that I've been chipping away at for a couple of weeks. This doesn't have a name. Suggestions in the chat. This is a direct result of me watching way too much Mandalorian in readiness for the Book of Fett on Wednesday. So yeah, that's sort of the plan for this. Is just I'm throwing blocks together. Turn my HUD back on so I can actually see what I'm doing. And there is no grand plan here other than this ship pretty much started to build itself in my brain. So yeah, we just sort of let that happen. There's going to be some wonky angles, but this ship is all about wonky angles, I'm afraid. Now we don't need too wonky an angle on the top at least. This is definitely, though, a small ship gone big. I think that is the only real way of putting this. She is one chunky ship. So, yeah, let's do it that way. I am deliberately playing about with not quite aligned angles on this. I mean, I'll show you guys the back of this thing in a second, and you'd cut yourself shaving with this thing. It deliberately has all of the fins. Hey Samo, how you doing? Haven't seen you around here for a while? Or at least not in the chat. Thank you for the follow. How are you doing? Did you have a good Christmas? Right, back to sticking engines on things. You did awesome. I'm glad to hear you had a good Christmas. My Christmas was a little bit odd, but not too bad. My real life job had me on standby, so I still had a good Christmas with the parents and the grandparent, but and the little brother, can't forget him. But yeah, I had to hold off on the festive cheer a little bit due to needing to make sure that if I was suddenly called into work, I was actually able to get there. So yeah, there's that. I knew there was a facing I hadn't done engines on yet. But yeah, other than that, it's been a pretty good Christmas. Still on standby now, so if I have to suddenly cut and run, you know why. As for what this thing is, this is a ship that, for want of a better term, this ship has been building itself. Every so often, I will just dip into my ship build world, excuse the mess back there. There's plenty of it. Yeah, and I've just been throwing blocks onto this thing. I bet there isn't a block for what I want to do on the front of these. And that's going to annoy me. I want something to blend that slope up to that slope. And I bet even with our funky armour mod that we've got on, I bet we don't have that. It's not looking likely. I mean, that's about as close as we've got. I think I'm just going to stick with the shape as is. Really don't want to lose the thrust on this thing. All of the thrusters are in both those pods. I am aware this is a bad idea. Is there a better fit for that spot? Not really. Other blocks have we got added into this mess? This one's usually good for a laugh. No. Ooh, that one does though. Not in the plane I want. Ah, see, this is what I hate and love about this AQD mod pack. There are some blocks that only place properly if you symmetry mode the crap out of them. You see, that will now have placed properly on this side, but you can't actually get to that placement without symmetry mode. Grr. It's very irritating. Anyway, enough griping. I should just be grateful that we've got the block in the first place, I suppose. Right, let's keep running this spine up the ship. Having it just stop there seems a little bit weird. Having said that, having it continue up the ship also feels a bit weird. Oh, in case you're wondering, This thing is designed to carry these little remote drones. Oh, hey Doverkin! How are you doing, good sir? Glad to see you're not working on Boxing Day. Considering who you work for, that would not have surprised me in the slightest. Once I finish sticking engines to this thing, which I think I'm nearly at, we're gonna take it over to my Triton. Actually, do we take it to Pertam? We might take it to my Pertam testing world. We're going to see if this thing is actually atmospheric. That's why we've got the... Oh yeah, that's a good point. If you use Azimuth Remastered... Oh, good luck with Blender, Doverkin. That is a fun program to try and beat into submission, that one. Yeah, SE Modder and Sparky Fox have released a new update for Azimuth Remastered. It had a couple of little teething problems. Fortunately, they've resolved those out. Gave them a bit of feedback and they quite quickly dealt with that. I was very impressed. But these are the new Azimuth angled thrusters. They are hydrogen, but they are very cool. And you can't see, but buried in the wing roots in here, there is also a new Azimuth... it's going to be the fastest way of getting to it, probably. There's a new Azimuth Remastered tank as well. Now, Sparky did say that there's a couple of other tanks they're looking to add. So yeah, this one. There's a micro gas storage tank and a micro gas generator they've added. The only reason I'm testing it, Samo, is the current server we're running has got Alien, Pertam and Triton. Triton's easy, but we've had a couple of ships designed recently that the flight on Pertam and Alien is a little bit marginal when you got the thing full. So I am now paranoia testing my ships. Have I got the hopper in this world save? I really should add it to the fleet. Oh yeah, I do have the hopper. So this thing, which is also a dirty great ball of thrusters. Let's get rid of all the mess on the HUD. This only just flies in alien atmosphere and alien gravity. So, hence, I mean, this is an awesome ship. Don't get me wrong. This thing is beautiful to fly everywhere else. It lacks a little bit of braking thrust, but you know it's fine as long as you don't stand it on its nose. But it's a really nice. I use it like a runabout from Star Trek. How? You pass. I mean, it's a chunky thing. Don't get me wrong, and that thing's even chunkier. That thing over there is all heavy armour as well. So, yeah, they're not lightweight ships. Also, if I go inside this thing, as we get a tiny jolt of frame lag, you'll see that it's got quite a bit of cargo. We've got a refinery O2H2 and an assembler built into the wall. So it's and it's also got 7,500 kilometres of jump range on it. It's a bit of a tanky ship, and I've only made it worse on the server. The server version of this is even more heavily modified. But yeah, so that has only just got enough lifting thrust to cope with the alien atmosphere. And I have just realised that... Do I have... Yeah, I've got plenty of it. I haven't got the heavy version of that in my little fleet. The server is crossplay, but it is a private server, I'm afraid, Samo. And we are at capacity right now. Before you head down that track. It's the server that me and Casa use when we're streaming on Wednesday nights. I have got if you go on my Discord and keep an eye out, now I'm actually affiliate. If and when Twitch actually starts paying money, which may or may not happen, we'll see. My first goal is going to be to get some sort of community server paid for by Twitch. Apparently I can't spell hopper these days. There we go. A heavy hopper. What the heck mods have I got that aren't on this shit? Whatever. Oh, I know what it is. I designed this thing before we changed our ore detector mod. Oh, yeah, thank you, Dover. And that's the other people you can find me at. Though I was more aiming... Oh, actually, Doverkin, we've got a new... we got some new commands since you last joined us. Can I remember them? Yeah, I can. Oh, it's doing the fun thing where the AQD windows don't render in properly. Yeah, this thing's great fun. I needed a freight hauler. This also doesn't fly very well in atmosphere. Yeah, so Doverkin is the same Doverkin that's in chat. Lady Artemis does a whole bunch of horror streaming and is also a very good IRL friend of mine, so she gets a shout out. And Carsa is an American lady that I stream with. That's who the friends list is. Other people were offered the opportunity and declined, so... but that friends list may or may not grow. I don't think that's spiky enough. But yeah, so this thing is basically a side effect of me rewatching the entirety of Mandalorian ahead of I think with no name on it. No, they've all got links. First link is Artemis, second link is Doverkin, third link is Carsa. At least that's what it's showing on my screen. If it's showing something else on yours, I do apologise, but at my end of it, that's what it's showing. There we go. Ah, fair enough. Yeah, because I'm streaming from Xbox, I'm of course viewing everything through mobile and all sorts of horribleness, so yeah, go for it. If you're on my Discord, chuck it my way. And if you're not on my Discord, an exclamation mark Discord will get you the link to it. Much obliged. Let's see how that's looking. See, this is the advantage of a really chilled out stream like this. I can be a little bit more relaxed. Oh yeah, that does look a little bit funky. It's really stuffed up the formatting on Artemis's one. Yeah. Ah, well done, Nightbot. I'll have to figure out if I can add the formatting back in on that one, but hey, there we go. Oh, work tomorrow night. Yeah, my sympathies, Doverkin. My absolute sympathies. Whilst I'm not working today and tomorrow, and yesterday in fact, I am on emergency standby, so yuck. Right, anyway, I don't think these are pointy enough. Actually, the front's okay. The back, however, needs a bit more trailing edge, I think. My job is, and it's been a job for a while, I work for a water company, so we clean, you know, treat and supply clean drinking water. And people tend to get a little bit grumpy if they run out of clean drinking water over Christmas. So my job is all to do with that. So, right, let's just... of course I've stripped the wrong blocks off, so that one's floating. Let's just strip off this outside edge armour here, and let's have a go at making this a bit more pointy. I mean, look at this thing. If I don't make the back of the engine pod spiky, you know, I've done something drastically wrong. Right, let's get started here. Let's get the 4x in there and there. Oh, and that is the smaller version of Sparky's new thrusters. But yeah, the reason I'm on standby, Samo, is I've been with the company for 14 years, so I have what you could call a tiny amount of experience as far as what's going on. Ooh, I can actually hide some more thrusters this way. Yeah, and they want that experience on call if the proverbial hits the fan, so to speak. So I was on cover. Yeah, I know you've told me about where you're working, Dovahkiin. I can only imagine that you have had a fairly crazy couple of weeks leading up to Christmas where you work. Yeah, that's suitably better shaped. There we go. Wasn't crazy at all, then you are lucky, my friend. I used to do retail and warehouse work, and the run up to Christmas was always our nightmare fuel. Having said that, that was a few years ago, we'll say, and there was a lot less automated and a lot more manual. I now feel like this top bit needs reshaping. Do we have a transition down to that slope from that slope? I'm gonna guess we probably... Ooh! Almost. Very almost. Not quite. No. Nope. Yeah, no, that's never gonna rotate in. Sort of. Oh. Okay, let's try the other random shaped block slopes. See, there are so many of these that are almost, but not quite. Dang. Right, okay. That's fine if I was going the other way. Doesn't help me this way. Damn you, space engineers. Okay, so there's a couple in here that were almost, so let's see what we've... Yeah, see, that fits fine on the bottom, but doesn't really help us on the top. This is why we do this offline rather than on the server. So what have we got? We've got... No, that's not going to work. Ugh. I mean, that is at the back, so we could have it. Come on, there we go. So it sort of does a little flare just before... What the heck did you just delete? Oh, the thruster. Well, that's helpful. Thanks, space engineers. Grr. Yeah, just give it a little kick like that. That works. Yeah, I had a feeling that your experiments with Blender might be related to your Mass Effect mod that you've had planned for a while. So I wish you all of the luck with that, my friend. And it will be interesting to see what you come up with. I have said before, I am not a massive fan of Mass Effect. But that is more an issue with the game rather than... Ooh, that looks a lot better. Rather than an issue with the world, as it were. So, I am intrigued to see what you come up with. And by an issue with the game, I mean I absolutely hate third-person games. There is no logical reason for it, I just don't get on with the dang thing. So, Mass Effect and me were never going to get on. I did try it, and I appreciate that it is a wonderfully detailed world they've built for those games. A very good friend of mine who actually plays on this server really likes Mass Effect. Huge Mass Effect fan. So I am aware of, you know, the detail that's in that universe, but it's just never really got on with me. So, okay. As you can see, this has been through a couple of design iterations. Just a couple of design iterations. Yep, yeah, top down. I don't mind top down if it's real-time strategy or something like that where it makes sense. Then I don't have a problem. Oh my, yeah, you know what it'll do. Then I don't have a problem. Then it's fine. But other than that, top down, I mean things like Dungeon Keeper is always the classic example. Ooh, that almost works. Oh, except we're going to have that there. I think I've got some more impossible angles coming up, gentlemen. Yeah, that'll... Oh, no, that won't work, because we've got to cover those up. That'll do. But yeah, so for the reason of target brain cannot compute third person, never really got on with Mass Effect. Ooh, that'll do. I'm sure that means we'll be able to find a block for that one. Yeah, there we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. But as I said, that doesn't mean that I don't hate the game. You know, the universe it's set in and all the rest of it. It's just a personal thing. Don't really get on with controls. And yeah, if anyone's ever wondering how my builds end up looking, how my builds look, this is my construction process. Throw blocks at problem, see what sticks. Yeah, that's looking kind of funky. I decided on this build that the people that have occasionally criticised me for not having enough detail in the hull of my ships are going to have less to complain about. They're still going to have stuff to complain about because it's me. And I've done that completely differently in those two spots, haven't I? Yes, I have. Yeah, I suppose I'd better at least make the two supports vaguely similar. But yeah, the problem I have is I am way too much of a real-life engineer that is all about detail, you know, necessary detail rather than unnecessary design features. So, hence my designs tend to be, if we're being charitable, minimalist. If certain people are not being charitable, blank canvas has been thrown around. But yeah, it's a thing. Right. Look, come on, space engineers. I mean, you're going to have a chat, space engineers, because there we are. What we'll do, what I'm pulling through here is the back of this engine pod has got the 90-degree slopes, just so that it's not the same common angle. I did keep those, didn't I? Yeah, so we've got the same, we've got different angles, front, you know, top and bottom. Yeah, I get the impression, Dovahkiin, that anything related to Mass Effect is going to be significant in size. There we go. Just need to find a block to fill that gap. That's going to be nice and simple, isn't it? Actually, this might not be too bad. Yeah, that'll do. Right. Okay, now to cover this horrible mess up. Oh yeah, in case you're wondering, the inside is definitely pressurised. Or it was until I did that. Oh, okay. What's the Citadel fleet then, Dovahkiin? That's not one I'm familiar with. I wish there was an easier way that you could just copy bits of a ship build and go, hey, I want exactly what I did there, but over here now. That would make my life a lot easier. Go. I'm not entirely happy about those conveyors sticking out there, but eh. Well, actually, that's a thing. Chat, you can give me some advice on this one. I mean, there's a whole 3 of you watching, so you know. Do we copy the real big spike from out here? Now, I've just noticed that those engines are in completely the wrong orientation. That would have made a mess. That would be how to set light to your own ship. Do we copy this huge triangle on the inside of this engine pod? What do we think? Yeah, you see, Dover, as much as I reckon that'll look cool, I will tell you straight away that is not a mod that I would be hugely interested in. I'm, as you can probably guess from what I'm building on screen right now, way more into the little intricate detaily stuff. Now, I'll admit, I'm leaning towards the no option here, purely because I think it would just clutter up what is quite a... I mean, if I get rid of the HUD, I would turn off all those signals, but I can't because I'm in creative mode, and the hotkey to disable signals in creative is the same hotkey that brings up the voxel hand, so you know. But yeah, I really like the back end of this design. And I think that long spike would crowd this area a bit too much. Yeah, but it's not the small grid variant bit that's worrying me, Dovahkiin. It's the look at these gigantic blocks and uber powerful guns. No, give me detail. Give me detail. That is what this thing is lacking. This game. That could sort of work. If I'm being honest, the only reason I did that is the back side of these blocks here was bothering me. That's it. That's the only reason. So I've done the bar at the front. Did I do the bar at the back? Yes, I did. Cool. Right. Let's turn off the old HUD. What are we thinking? What do we reckon, guys? I hate to say it, but I think those engine pods need to be wider. I think they're a little too skinny in relation to the rest of the hull. What do we think? What do we think out there, guys? Looks alright to you? Yeah. I have also just noticed that apart from 4 really big hydrogen thrusters, this doesn't have any ion thrust forward and backwards. That could be a problem. Because, yeah, on a planet it's gonna need hydrogen. That's fine. However, in space I was kind of hoping to turn off the hydros to save a bit of fuel, hence thruster spam. So we're now going to have to hide. I have to hide some Azzies on the front of this engine block somewhere. No, I'm not dropping it down 3 blocks because it's already in line with the bottom of the hull, and that's where the docking clamp is. And I am not giving this thing any more of a boat-shaped keel than it already has. So it's definitely not getting dropped down a bit. Right, where can I hide some azimuth thrusters? Because that probably means, yeah, we also don't have braking azimuths either. Or thrust azimuths. Oh, you can tell it's Boxing Day. Right. Could we get them in there, do we think? And it actually look alright. That's the challenge, is it looking... Oh, actually, I know... Oh, this is going to get dodgy as anything. So Xbox SE and scripts have a interesting relationship. Thanks, Microsoft. You can use scripts as long as you are on a rented or PC hosted server. Due to the Microsoft terms and conditions, they cannot add client-side scripting to an Xbox. That's not a... It's not a Keen won't do it. Keen have found a way around it. Technically, their workaround is a bit of a grey area anyway, and so far they've got away with it. But yeah, that is a... Unless Microsoft fundamentally changes its terms and conditions for Xbox, and you can imagine how likely that is to happen, we will not have client-side scripting on Space Engineers, unfortunately. To be honest, I'm amazed we've got the scripting that we have. I am still trying to work out where to hide these thrusters. But yeah, I don't think it's ever likely to happen. If it was going to have happened, they would have done it when they launched the Series X and S. If that was going to be a thing that Microsoft wanted to do, that's when they'd have done it. Honestly, Dovakin, if who you work for bought out Microsoft, I think we just created Skynet. Ooh, there's a surface that can be a thruster. There's my orange. There we go. At least I've got some absolutely pathetically small, but there if I need them. Forward thrust. Now, can I do anything for braking? I very much doubt it the way this hull's layered up. There aren't many places I can stick thrusters. Suppose I could stick some in there? Doesn't really... Thinking one in there on either side, but I don't know, it's a bit of a... Stuff it. Let's see what happens. I mean, it doesn't look great, but it also doesn't look terrible. I think I preferred the 2x1 slope in there, though. I keep turning off my HUD to build because I'm in screenshot mode. Okay, it might look a little bit better if we did it the next block down instead. Oh, hey conveyor port. Yeah, there we go. Now it doesn't look quite so tacked on. That looks a bit better. Yeah, Dovakin, if robots take over the world, that is efficiency. That is Skynet. Okay. Let's see how its space maneuverability is. Oh, and you guys actually get to see the inside for the first time in a while. Not quite. I will leave it to Dovahkidd if he wants to say who he works for or not. And Dova, that is no pressure for you to say. This is entirely personal choice when people want to say if and who they work for. Do I want to hide some more hydrogen tanks in here? Let me give you the... yeah, cool. Let me give you the quick tour. So, we have some big old azimuth hydrogen tanks in here. We have twin refineries, and buried behind them and underneath are twin assemblers. We have all of the jump drives ever. What's this jump range at? Yeah, 11,600. We have some gyro. Doesn't actually have a huge amount of cargo storage, I will fully admit. So down here is our cargo storage. These are deliberately off-grid cargo because I get fed up of running Izzy's inventory manager and it's stealing all of my bottles and stuff to store that I want stored on my ship. We then have drone pilot seats and the nose gunner's seat. So this gives them control of the storm cannon mounted under the nose. And these bays are where the missile stroke gun drones dock. Or I suppose, you know, they are plumbed in, we could just fill this with cargo should the need arise. The doors are for reloading drones and maintenance. And if we go upstairs, yes, I have deliberately off-centered the staircase. It made it an absolute nightmare to build. We have a couple more passenger seats. You know, doing the important watching of here. There is some more cargo. And then we have a flight seat, which could actually work to fly it without the heads-up display, thanks to those little LCDs down there. And if I decided to stick anything on those programmable blocks that are purely there for decoration at the moment. Right then. Let us grab a copy. Yeah, 17,000 PCU. I was expecting more. Oh, and we do have just a little bit of DACA. What I do need is to grab some cameras, and I realise that this is a complete mess. I will deal with the mess that is the terminals later. Yeah, so that is directly in between the lowest pair, right above the turret. So at least one, yeah, so you've got one pair that's perfectly lined up with the pilot, the bottom pair is perfectly lined up with a camera, and the top pair is just there to spread the wealth around. Pretty much everything in here is on mod.io, yeah. Everything in this world is on mod.io. Obviously this one isn't, because it isn't finished yet. It hasn't even got a name. But yeah, so no, most of my ships are on there. Certainly everything you can see in that mess in the background over there is definitely on there. Right, now we've got a copy of it. That's some not bad side to side. That gyro leaves a little bit to be desired. Okay, we need some more gyroscopes somewhere. Up is fine. Down is fine. That makes sense, they're mirrored. I suppose we hit the go button. That was not as impressive as I was hoping for. Though that braking speed... Damn, I love azimuth ions. Yeah, almost insta-stops. Takes a little bit of getting up to speed, though. I'm not too worried about reversing speed. But I think we may have to find a way of boosting that forward. Because... whilst that's not bad, that's on hydrogens. But then again, this thing does weigh... what are we looking at? Tonnage-wise on this thing. About 8 tons? Yeah, this thing isn't small. And that's unloaded as well. And also without the 2 drones in it that it will be carrying. Right, the last thing I am going to set up before I forget is we do actually have a docking camera. Well, that's a thoroughly useful docking camera view. How the heck has that happened? Ah, because I tried to get fancy. That's how that's happened. Hey look! There's a camera there, everybody! And this is why you check these things. Right. Let's get a bit more window over the top of it. That'll make much more sense. Hey look, we can see down now. Okay, that gyro movement is terrible. Need more gyros. Where are we going to hide gyros? Where in the bay are we going to hide the gyros? I think we're going to put another line of gyros the other side of the current line of gyros. If the game's going to let us. Come on, I'm put. Thank you. And that will have mirrored it on the other side. I mean, it's still... it's fine all the time we're under thrust. Yeah, as soon as we're under thrust, we get decent gyro control now. Is a little bit chunky, not under power though. Right. Magnetic plate, have I set you to auto lock? I have not removed the auto lock. Ooh, that's because that started the thing underneath moving. That thing should be a station. Ah, when your small grid has so much thrust. That it decides to move a large grid. Oh dear. No, let's do this the easy way. No, large grids by speed. That's what I want. You stop. Thank you. Now you are stopped. Is there actually a control panel on this thing anywhere? There's about to be, because I'm going to stick a battery on it. or I'm going to stick a battery floating in space. Or did I actually get it? Nope. Close. There we go. Is station. You want to see me modify Keen stuff? Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Dovahkiin. If we come over to the mess that is my fleet, we have modified Keen design, modified Keen design, a differently modified Keen design, an even more heavily modified Keen design. It is not something that is outside of my my comfort zone to play around with Keen designs, but I also kind of like doing my own stuff. Now, admittedly, if we look at the Harridan here, not all of them are particularly pretty, shall we say? And this thing has the combat sustainability of a slightly wet tissue paper. It runs out of fuel about the time it gets out of the launch tube, usually. But it's damn quick about it. This silly little scout thing is exactly what it looks like. A really basic little scout ship with some DACA. And then we start getting into my weirder and wonderfuler stuff. Ooh, I haven't got the Y-Wing in this world. How can I have the Seek and not the Y-Wing? That's a crime. Please ignore the Christmas present that's in the blueprints list. There we go, and there's the Y-Wing. But yeah, if I find something interesting that Keen has built that, you know, interests me enough to mod it, I will. Yes. You guys won't have met the Thug because I haven't built it anywhere else. This is my response to us having corrupt on the server. I don't like corrupt. I want them to go away. The Thug boat is my gunship to tell them to all go away. It has all of the flak battery and terrifyingly can just about fly in Triton atmosphere, which I was not expecting from this lump of heavy armour. Anyway, back to what we were doing. Wow, that got knocked out of alignment. In case anyone's wondering, this was originally going to be a carrier of some sort that I just went, this is way too big, I can't be bothered. This is why trips to my design world are always interesting. Right, let's have a new grid copy because we've added the gyros and some controls. And let's take this over to Triton. So let's place that blueprint. There we go. And yeah, let's save and let's jump over and... No, we'll fly it on Pertam. We will try it in the worst possible conditions for a ship like this. So let us go to my distant worlds. When you say your game, Dovahkiin, are you referring to the one you're building, or are you referring to your Space Engineers game? I'm interested in hearing about what you're doing. In either case, to be honest. I mean, is that the RPG that you were talking about a couple of months back now? I mean, as I said, I'm interested in hearing about it. Okay, let's see if it flies. Let's see what blocks of not coming to this world, because that's not a good sign. No, we have the thrusters. We have the thrusters, we have the... What blocks have not come in? I am very confused. Yeah, everything is here. We've got our thrusters. This thing is only just flying. Looking at the length of those, this thing is literally only just flying. And bear in mind, that's with effectively 4 large atmospheric engines on this. Okay, let's see how it flies in Atmo then, I suppose. Oh wow, the gyro power under thrust versus gyro power stationary is terrifyingly different. She's doing alright though. Doing alright. Back her right over. Yeah. Not bad for a chunky old freighter. I suppose it's more of a bounty hunter ship than anything else, but yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Fairly responsive. I think it's actually faster in atmosphere than it was in space, which is weird. Yeah, I think that's going to pass the flight test. The only reason that ramp is not on a rotor, Dovahkiin, is I hate how much rotors cause flying ships to clang. That is purely it. In fact, let me get the precursor to this out. That's a bit interesting. So if I turn the dampeners off, it falls through the planet. I think we might call that a problem. Okay, we didn't that time. Still unable to park though. Is our landing gear still intact? Of course it's not gear, is it? It's a magnetic plate. Yeah, the plate's still intact and still on. Are we just on a weird bit of ground that means it can't lock? let's go find a bit of actual flat ground. Which could be difficult because this is Pertam after all. That should be flat enough. Yeah, we sink through the planet again. Look at that. That's some bizarre behaviour right there. I wonder what's causing that. I bet it's that turret at the front. I'm assuming by Voyager you mean USS Voyager from Star Trek, and probably not. Anyway, I thought you were having a go at that at one point. Yeah, no, Voyager. If I was going to build any ships from Star Trek, it would be the Defiant, and it would be a Nova class, because they are small. They are small enough to actually be useful starships. Why are you not letting me delete that turret? Well, I think we found our problem, and I think that problem is called the storm cannon turret. Also a bit confused as to how our grid has gained PCU. I do believe we may have some very strange behaviour going on here. Oh, and of course, finding those grids is going to be a challenge. Grids, distance from players. Small grids. Okay, let's remove those and let's paste a new one in, shall we? Let's yeah. No, that's not a new one. That'll be the old broken one. So let's grab a fresh blueprint. No, let's see if we've actually got the assault weapons pack in this save. Yeah, we've got the assault weapons pack in this save. So it can't be that that's causing the problem. Okay, let's not save that. Yeah, Enterprise 8 again. Giant starship. That's even bigger than Voyager, Dovahkiin. Right, let's have a look at this mod list. What are we missing? Because there is clearly something in this that's balked. Right. Expansion. Flat overhaul. Let's just go down the list of stuff that isn't in. Ah, there it is. How is that even working without the conveyor expansion? Think of anything else? Small repacking. Okay, small repacking. Right. Okay, That might help things a little bit. Let's try this again. Oh, and another update to Azimuth Remastered. Be careful now, guys. Okay, right. Oh, yeah, okay, this thing's still here. Please go away. Let's have a fresh paste. Hey, we don't get the error message. It's gone up in PCU still. I really don't understand. Right. There you go. Right. Oh, that's a lovely turning circle. Okay. Let's see if it now clips through the floor. Hey, look at that. When you've got all the mods on a ship. Hello, Puzzled One. Welcome. How are you doing? And ahoy indeed. That is not a name I recognise, so welcome in, sir. Or madam. We accept all comers. Or whichever other flavour you prefer. This is a bit of a creative, chilled out. It's Boxing Day. Too much food was eaten. My brain is not capable of dealing with anything. So we're just messing about, flight testing a new ship. And we've just had to do a quick reload because I'd forgotten the mod. Silly me. Right. I mean, I've done worse landings. Right, Doverkin, you were asking about why I don't have the curved ramp. Where's my planetary explorer gone? Or, sorry, not a curved ramp. Why I don't have a rotor ramp. And that's because I have this thing. Which is sort of my previous... and I mean very previous rendition of this sort of idea. So this is a purely planetary based one though, and as you can see, it was before we had a lot of the sloped blocks. It was before Xbox had mods. This is quite an old design. I mean, one of the ways I age my designs is the skins. So from the skin on this, I can tell you that this was built right after the Frostbite DLC was released on Xbox. So, and this does have... actually no, it can't have been Frostbite because it's got hinges in it. But either way, I have done. Surprise! I have done the ramp thing before, but this thing clangs so much in flight because of this ramp, it's not even funny. So, yeah. Whilst I do, you know, I know how to do it, for actually flying the thing, I'm just going to stick with the fixed ramp. That is the plan, is just get rid of that. I mean, as you can tell, this is actually still clipping into the ground. That concerns me. Right, let's build this thing a landing pad. Oh, apparently I was doing something for 601st Engineering last time I was on this world. Right. So let's build it a landing pad temporarily. We are not on a server. That's the terrible thing. This is my offline creative design world. We haven't even got this thing on the server yet. It's intended for use on a server, so hence avoiding clanging. The other reason that this thing is being built tonight is those 8 massive hydrogen thrusters are the newest Azimuth remastered ones that have just come out. My poor old Series X is not happy about something in this world. I want to bet that merge block underneath is causing some weirdness. Okay, it doesn't mind landing on armour plate, it just doesn't like voxel. Yeah, this is why I was doing my testing in it, because, you know, at least if it flies here I know it's a server lag issue, not a ping issue, but no, that's some weird behaviour on the old voxels. Anyway, Puzzled, as a name that I don't recognise, welcome in. I'm Tenable. I mostly play Space Engineers. I occasionally play Generation Zero very badly. That is what you would normally find on a Sunday here. But it being Boxing Day, the other 3 gentlemen that I play Generation Zero with all have other commitments because it's Boxing Day. And they either live with family or have their own family, if that makes sense. No, this is not the world that I played with Tom. This is my own design and testing world, which gave spawn to, and I use the word spawn correctly here, to the Ripsaw, which is my all-terrain scouting base, for want of a better description of it. And also recently, this is a bit of a spoiler preview for a fortnight on Wednesday, for this little cargo rover. So if any of you are familiar with the gentleman known as Wasted Space and his rather epic spider that he created, oh god, was it 2 years ago now? This is the Xbox closest equivalent of what he did with that suspension setup. It is the patented too many wheels. Ah, welcome, Puzzled One. Well, I now know where you saw it. Yes, I am also part of Armco. I am... what am I at the minute? I'm at about 1,600 hours for the last 18 months of Space Engineers, but mine is all on console. I've got about 50 hours on PC before my laptop that could run it died, and I couldn't replace it with a gaming one, so hey, welcome to Xbox. So yes, the War Boss is the reason that I stream. He's the one that gave me the idea to give it a try, and hey look, a year later nearly, and we're at affiliate and doing all sorts of crazy stuff on stream. But yeah, this, it makes horrible noises as it drives because the physics engine doesn't quite know what to do with however many wheels are attached to this thing, but it just doesn't care about the terrain you drive over, really. So, but yeah, so this was my attempt at, I wanted a rover that I could just drive. And this is, this chassis anyway, not this particular version of it, because this is a new variant for hauling a pair of cargo pods, hence the merge blocks on the top. But yeah, this thing is a very, very capable little chassis. Yes, yeah, Dovahkiin has been kicking around my community pretty much since I started, I think. And yeah, he's just getting into the modding side of things, getting Blender up and running. He's going to be doing some mod work at some point, so that's him. In fact, Puzzle One, if you want to drop an ! Discord in the chat, you can come and join us over on my Discord as well, where, you know, it's not quite as noisy as Armco, but it's the better way of getting hold of me, that's for dang certain. If you haven't realised from accent, etc., I am a UK-based streamer as well. And there you go, Dovahkiin's got you covered, as always. And the friends as well. And if you drop a !SE mods, you will see what my current mod list is, if you're interested. Right, okay, basic flight test, good. Next thing to set up is the drone bays. Okay, Puzzled One. No problem. Okay. Let's set up the drone doors. Let's open those up. I don't want them on separate, I'm just going to have them as one group. I don't have any drones in this world. At least I don't think I do. Oh, no, I might have some drones on this world. Oh, that thing! Yeah, that's not the drone I'm looking for. That's the drone I'm looking for. Angry McShooty face. Right. Let's drop a pair of those in. And then let's see if we can't fly them in. Ah, wonderful. Apparently I haven't set the cameras up correctly on this yet. Okay, that one's connected up. All the right buttons, just not in the right order. There we go. Right. Go. one doesn't seem to be wanting to work as well. Ah. Now it's found somewhere to lock onto. Yeah, that one really didn't want to lock on. Okay. We have drones on board now. This is the whole point of this ship. And the idea is it's going to carry... Oh, here we go. So, this is for repair access. And this is for reloading. On both sides. There we go. Welcome to the Discord. That is an exceptional Discord name. Yeah, that is an exceptional bit of Discord naming you have there, sir. Okay, right. Yeah, this door is for reactor fueling. Right. Okay, now we've got this thing loaded. We now have our drones. Okay, first good sign, we can shut the doors and the drones don't explode. Calling that a win. It hasn't immediately fallen out of the air. I'm calling that a bonus. Let's see how it flies. Not terribly different. Decent bit of gyro banking. I really wish we could have some proper joystick control. Flying this thing with a flight stick and throttleless setup would be amazing. Cool. I would say that's a successful flight test. Doesn't seem to want to fall out of the sky. Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable. If a little bit frame laggy. Right. We land without sinking into the armour block. Let's see what happens on the Vauxhall. Are we ready for an explosion? Oh no! Fair enough, puzzled one. I mean, if it makes any difference, we're only going for about another 20 minutes, half hour. So, whether that changes how much effort you put into switching devices. Though, you will find space engineers on this channel every Wednesday rather than Sundays normally. Hey, it stopped sinking into the ground. That's a bonus. Everything is going off, and normally I wouldn't be checking my phone during stream. However, as previously mentioned, I'm on standby, so have to make sure it isn't work. Okay. final thing we need to do to this ship, other than name it, is we need to give it a suitably 601st paint job. Yeah, close enough to level. Right. Make sure all the doors are shut because we're going to be blueprinting this soon. Right, where's my orange? Oh yeah, it's selected. And what skin are we going to want on this thing? That's slowly sinking, isn't it? Yeah, that will be slowly sinking because drones. Right, let's get those out of it. Oh, that was loud. Okay, we'll go and close doors in a second. And you can go. And you can go. I am not calling this thing USS anything. I am not American. If it was going to be any nation marker, it would be HMS. But I don't think this is a military naval vessel, so I don't think this is going to have the HMS designation. This is very much a bounty hunter-y type ship. And I also do not have a big enough ego to name this after myself. Okay, let's get a flat black and let's go with the carbon fibre. Do we want carbon fibre? Yeah, let's go carbon fibre. Nothing wrong with a bit of carbon fibre. As I said, Dovahkiin, HMS is purely there as a military ship designation. You will not find a single civilian-owned ship with a HMS in the name. It's not actually allowed. And I'm aware this is only a game, but there are certain things that I do try and stick to. Pardon me. Actually, where is it? Where's the sci-fi armour? Ah, there we are. That's what we needed. Good old bit of sci-fi armour. Right, now for some detailing. Okay. I don't want to have too much orange on it. The orange is just there as an accent colour to make it obvious it's one of mine. Let's do a bit of that. Let's have some dags. Yeah, that can work. That can work. I know they're not really going to show up too much, but we have the same pattern on the window frames. That could look kind of cool. I'm also thinking, let's... Have I not got my lights on? No, I've got my lights on, it's just that dark. Okay. Let's carry on the dags down here. Hey, welcome back, Puzzled One. Right, so flight tests were successful. We are now on painting and naming. That is the current, and I have no idea why there's a random orange block there. Much better. So yeah, the colours I use are black and orange, in case you hadn't noticed. So yeah, it's just trying to give it a little bit of detail from the orange without going overboard, because it is a very in-your-face orange. Though apparently it looks completely different on the modded armour slopes. I think we just pick out these rather lovely tail fins. This has a very hot rod feel to it. I think we picked those ones out as well. And that. Yeah, that's starting to look okay. Yeah, I don't know if you had a chance to hear before you left, Puzzled One, but we've only got about another 20 minutes on this stream left. I normally on a Sunday stream from 8 until 10 British time, GMT, and on a Wednesday, which is when we normally do Space Engineers, I stream from 7 till 10 because I'm doing a co-op stream. So we go a little bit longer on Wednesdays. But I hope you're enjoying this. If you are enjoying, throwing out a follow would be greatly appreciated. It is a massive help in the weird way that the whole Twitch thing runs. And I am still rather new at this. Yeah, let's grab some of these front ones as well. Grab that. That. There we are, that'll do. Oh, thank you very much, sir. You're GMT too. Awesome. Yeah, the wasted overnighters are real. I must admit, it has become a tradition when he's doing Wrong Way Up with Splits that we will actually raid into his stream on a Sunday night. That has become a bit of a weird tradition. I feel like we need to have a bit of orange on the inside of these as well. But yeah, the wasted epic streams are always a bit interesting for us British people. You will find my hours much more British time zone friendly, because I actually have another job to hold down. This is not my job. Fine, make me do it the hard way. Damn the lack of a paint mod. I have to mash my face into it, there we go. Okay. Sparky, I like the way you think. That's a cool way of doing the paint on those thrusters. I'm not going to use it this time, but I will remember that for later. Right. How the heck are we going to paint the inside of these things? Oh, actually, let's meld that in. Oh yeah, my work time is also an 8 o'clock start time, so I feel your pain, my friend. I definitely feel your pain. Okay, let's make sure this is the same block up. I think it's that? Yeah, it's that. Cool, right. Oh, some more face mashing is going to have to happen. If I can even get my... Oh, I had it. Yay! And there was much rejoicing. Oh, stuff it. Right. I really wish we could have the paint mod on Xbox, I really do. It would make it so much easier. Again, let's clean those out as well. Oh, that looks like that went up. Yep, thought so. There we go. Okay. That's looking suitably company colours. I kind of feel like we need something to break up this massive sheet of black armour. I kind of like the smooth lines, so we may have to do it with paint. I really wish you could stick panels onto the top of these slopes. That would make for some awesome detailing. And I've just realised something that we've not added to this thing that is going to be needed. At no point on this ship does it have an antenna, and it's meant to fly a drone. This is a problem. This is a big problem. Right. Mirror mode off. Antenna mounted. Well, that would have been a bit embarrassing. I'm also just gonna cover those up just for neat and tidiness. I think I'm gonna leave this part of it open. Deliberately open. Right. We have survival kits. We have jump drives. We have refineries. We have assemblers. We have batteries. We have all of the hydrogen. We have control seats for our drone pilots. We have a gunner's seat. Cargo. A little bit more cargo. More gunner's seats, just in case. Yes, this is a little bit on the heavy side. This is entirely made out of heavy armour. This is its gyro movement. I have got the control stick over on maximum right now. This is its gyro turn speed without any thrust. When it's under thrust, that is maximum turn rate. Oh yeah, very space tank. but Space Tank also has Space Dacker. So that is 6 azimuth Gatlings for the pilot to play with. Oh yeah, it stops very well because azimuth. Azimuth inertial dampeners are hilarious. The other thing that I need to set up is we do also have the top-mounted 150mm tank turret. Should the pilot feel the need to give someone else the good news. So, and that chin turret down there is for use by the gunner downstairs. I don't usually put remote control blocks on my ships. I suppose it could be kind of cool, this being a bounty hunter style ship. If it had a remote control block. In fact, I know exactly where I'm going to hide one. We will hide one just behind there. Let's get our barred window back. Come on now. And there we go. We do have external cameras. We have a external camera down there in the nose, and we have an external camera in the belly. Having said that, if we really have problems, we have a survival kit on board. We can just respawn at this thing. Antenna range should be set at 5,000. Yeah, antenna range is at 5,000. What we need to sort out, that's the last thing we need to sort out tonight before we finish, is we need to have a name. That's what we need next. So, as this thing was Razor Crest inspired, I'm thinking something that riffs off of the Razor Crest. Or similar Star Wars bounty hunter ship names, if you're familiar with those. Oh yeah, absolutely. I can see the utility of remote control blocks. But to be honest, it's small grid. If it's taken damage, it's probably in bits. Especially as all of the thrust are in those 2 engine pods. There is no thrust at all in this central hull. Not even hidden. So, yeah, if this thing has a problem, it's going to be fairly spectacular, I would imagine. Fortunately, our server is only PvE, not PvP. So, at the minute, the worst I've got to deal with is corrupt. Oh yeah, this thing would make an absolutely awesome battering ram. I mean, it's got the right shape for it as well. And if you're really unlucky, I'll put the brakes on right before we hit, and those hydros will burn through nicely. So, name. That's what we need now, is a name. Because small grid 2981. Oh yeah, it's not a pleasant thing. I mean, if it reverses into you, it's probably even worse. That back edge is literally an axe blade. In fact, it's probably an axe blade with a cheese grater attached to the top of it. I mean, look at it. Yeah, you cut yourself shaving with that, that's for certain. Right. Doesn't have any chase guns though. This feels like a problem. Doesn't have anything to deal with those annoying little pests that try and tailgate you. And that's a problem, potentially. Lacerator. I can get behind that. I can definitely get behind that as a name. Right. I'm going to make a temporary change here. If I like it, it's going to become a permanent change. Come to me, the azimuth Gatling turrets. If I remember correctly, just down there, yeah, there it is a little conveyor tube. So, we drop a couple of proper conveyor junctions in. Nope, barrel wrong way. There we go. There we go. Now we don't have a tailgating problem. And apparently I had mirror mode turned off? That doesn't seem right. Oh well. Back in we go. Must have turned that. Oh, I turned it off for placing the antenna. There we go. Hey, brain caught up eventually. It actually does, doesn't it? And I mean, if you know anything about the Azimuth remastered Gatlings, you definitely wouldn't want to tailgate with those pointing at you. Yeah, there's nowhere I want to put them on the bottom, that's for certain. There we go. Right. The Lacerator. And that wasn't bad typing for an Xbox. Yeah, that's fine. In fact, what we'll do... Where are those Gatlings? What we'll do is we'll put those onto maximum range. And we'll have them just target everything, I think. That seems reasonable. And then let's look at the 150. Okay, what have you called this turret? Interesting. There is a turret stuck to the top of my ship, right? Yeah. The light artillery turret. Apparently not. Ah, there it is. Oh dear. Well done, Space Engineers. Well done. So we'll crank that out. I don't think there's any point that targeting small ships. That turret turns way too slowly. That's that sorted out. Right, storm cannon. So technically this is the nose gunner's weapon. but I'm gonna obviously have AI on it because, let's be real, how often do you actually have the luxury of a gunner on a server? And there we are. One lacerator. So let's get an updated. Let's turn my crosshair on. Let's get an updated copy. Actually, I can just... Right, I hate blueprinting on Xbox. This is a faff. I will be chucking this on Mod.io, so if anyone does want to play with the lacerator. Oh! And this is why I hate blueprinting on Xbox. Because it does that. Right. Hopefully you heard that, chat. We had a crash to desktop. I am back. Yes, 100% stable build. Absolutely. Hey, look on the bright side. At least it didn't blame plane parts. Yes, I'm sure. Look, if they didn't have Clang, they'd need to come up with some other in-universe deity for their game. Wouldn't they? No, it's all small grid. All small grid thanks to Small Grid Megapack mod. So no, there's no subgrid shenanigans going on or anything. I'm really hoping that blueprint went. Yay, the blueprint went. What I need to do is take a half-decent screenshot. We're all good. And as the look is the only thing that's important, there we go. I think that's a pretty good angle. Not too much other junk in the shot. Let's have a screenshot. And then let's... Yeah, exactly. Without Clang, this game suddenly becomes a whole lot less interesting. I mean, I accidentally built a Clang-powered drilling machine the other day. Just going to grab a couple of screenshots for the old Mod.io. Yeah, I will have this uploaded not long after stream finishes in a minute. So, if you want to see just how heavy this thing is to actually fly, you can experience it for yourself. I will stick a link for it up in my mod showcase on the... Yes, harness the Clang. That is actually something that I need to do on our server, is I need to create a temple to Clang. We have not got the Clang temple yet. You know what? I think that's probably the cooler way of showing you what the bridge looks like. Just straight through the window, rather than being inside it where your character's in the way. There we go. And one for the back bay. See, this is what a lot of people miss out when they're doing an upload to the workshop. either workshop is actually having decent screenshots of what their build is. This is a pet peeve of mine. There we go. And then a nice shot all the way out the back. Excellent, right. Well, with the photography competition out the way, I think that is where I'm going to end it for this evening, as we normally finish at 10, and it is 10 o'clock. Yes, no, you definitely need all of the different screenshots. And I get a random message from a wild Sparky Fox, who is the coder behind Azimuth, asking me to check some stuff for him. So I will do that off stream. He would not want me doing his bug fixing on stream, I am pretty sure. And there is nobody on I know to raid, so I think we will call it there for the night. Thank you for joining. Puzzled One, it was nice to meet you. I'll do my usual outro, though I think you are the only one hanging around still. It is Boxing Day. I'm expecting a quiet stream. So I will be back on Wednesday with our server's Christmas event that I'm running. It is shamelessly stolen from Splitsy from a couple of years ago. That's all I'm going to say, because none of the people playing actually know what it is yet. So that's going to be fun. That's 7 till 10 on Wednesday evening, and then starting hopefully Sunday next week we will be back to our normal Generation Zero stream, which is a 4-player co-op playthrough of Generation Zero, which is about as much carnage as you would expect. Other than that, thank you for joining me. Puzzled One, by the sounds of it, I will catch you in Wasted's chat at some point, possibly, which will be my other account, which is Surak. So if you have seen that name popping up in Wasted's chat, then if I just do a quick hello, this is me as well. For various reasons, I have 2 Twitch, one for streaming. Well, I have one for streaming, and I have one for viewing. It's not so much sneaky as the Surak account has been around for absolute years as my main viewing account. And I decided when I started streaming that having a username that comes directly from a Star Trek IP probably isn't the smartest thing, so there we are. Oh, are you a streamer as well, Puzzled One? Or is this a future plan? Not yet. Fair enough. Well, I have what you would call an open door policy with other streamers on my streams. So, if you ever do decide to start streaming, then let me know and I will give you a shout out. And you are more than willing to give yourself a shout out once you've got that all sorted. So, I mean, we were all in this together, so I have absolutely no problem with supporting other streamers. And the other streamer you will meet on Wednesday, Carcer, has exactly the same policy. So, you are in a very safe place for that. Yep, got no problem supporting newbies. I mean, I'm still a pretty newbie myself. I've only been doing this since March. So, yep, we're all in this together. So yeah, I have an open door policy on that. As long as people are here for the stream, not to just drop an advert and run, I'm all up for that. Right, and I'm going to call it a night. hopefully I will catch you all either on Discord or on another stream somewhere else. So take care and enjoy the rest of whatever holidays you have. Good night!